What's up, everybody? How we doing? What's good? What's good? What's good? How is everybody this fine Tuesday? I missed everybody yesterday. Early gang, early crew, what's up? Oh no. Tink tank. My hot water is almost warmed. Oh, hey, thank you, Graphic Word Line. Yeah, it might look even more appropriate with the outfit today. I feel very lumberjackish. Very lumberjack guy. Granted, there are a few things further from the truth, but I'm here. Go axe throwing. Now, axe throwing I can get behind. But actual lumbering jack work? No, thank you. No, thank you. I'll never forget. I bought an axe. I bought an axe as a child. Well, not really, but I was like 20 years old, which is practically a child. And it was at my first, what was it? Maybe I wasn't 20. Maybe I was 22. It was at our first like real home. And I had only ever played like farming games, you know? And so I I bought an axe to take down a very small tree in the backyard. Friends, not many of us nowadays are taking down trees with axes. Most people by now surely have discovered the chainsaw. And so I just kept whacking at that very healthy, very alive tree with a very, very basic log splitting axe. And I mean, went at it for a while before realizing I was like, you know what? I'm a big old boy and I'm making no difference. So realized pretty quickly this was not going to work, and there's a reason chainsaws exist. And even if I didn't have a chainsaw, this is the wrong axe to use. So yeah, not a lumberjack, but I can look like one on TV. How are we doing, folks? How are your weekends? What's up, maybe 30? What's up, Graphic Word? What's up, Zando? What's up, Sneaky? Dye your beard and we can call you Yukon Cornelius. What did I need to do? I had something that I needed to do and I've already forgotten it. I'm all over the place. There was something. I remember. Okay, so our Twitch stuff is still turned off from the other night. So I've got to go turn all that stuff back on. My tea is right here. We're all good. Since I'm platforming, I thought Sonic the Hedgehog would make the most sense for today. It's a brewing. Still walking off a pretty annoying back injury, but I'm capitalizing on it by not working. Maybe 30. I almost came to see you the other day. We were in your neck of the woods, but we were busy. So we went to the Biltmore for Logan's birthday this weekend, and so we were right in your neck of the woods. We like contemplated. We need to ask maybe 30 out to. We did not call you maybe 30, but we need to ask maybe 30 out to breakfast or something. And I was like, I don't know. We go to breakfast pretty early. And yeah, it wound up that we were at like this like short, like 30, 45 minute time sink everywhere we went. So we were like boom, boom, boom. We had so much scheduled. We ate so much delicious food, did all sorts of wonderful things, but did not have any time to squeeze in time with maybe 30. Next time. If happened by again, I live literally 5 minutes from there. Yeah, I thought so. I looked up your church because I was like, I swear it's like close by. It's got to be close by. And yep, sure enough. We were actually staying in an Airbnb behind Abernathy UMC, I want to say. West Asheville area. Okay, I'm going to turn back on all the things. Actually, I'm not going to turn back on Gachapon because I don't have it stocked. That's the district office. Okay, cool. Gambit time. This is a beautiful UMC. Gambit time, Marie, Lonk, Doodle, Zeltar, Ouija, Celebrities Poetry. Category is destroy that book, lose the glasses, reverse, Uke time, read needs book. Okay, cool. Okay, I think we have everything turned back on. Sorry about that, folks. We're all over the place today. Coming in hot. Let me go ahead and drop in general that we live. We do have a stocked stream today. So we're going to go through our advent calendar because, of course, hopefully no spoilers. Hopefully that's not a spoiler. Go through our advent calendar. I've got a Manga Spice Cafe to open. We got our Manga Spice Cafe, so we get to find out what's inside here. Of course, we're going to watch Crossfire News. Pog, you live. What's up, Weesh? I actually need to pull up Crossfire News. Let's get that pulled up real quick. Like I said, folks, we are all over the place. I could have sworn they just uploaded one. What? I could have sworn I just saw an upload from them. I did.
On today.
So weird. It's unlisted. Uh-oh. Are we not supposed to watch this, Russ? Oh no. Is it supposed to be unlisted for a reason? Hey, that's interesting to know though. If you have bell notifications turned on YouTube, you can click an unlisted video through your bell notification. That's pretty interesting. That's good to know. That's very good to know because I have probably unlisted something before, and if you guys got a notification of it that you weren't supposed to, that feels troublesome. I don't want that. Maybe it was live and then he unlisted it, which makes me doubly worried that maybe I'm watching something that is not meant to be watched. We'll find out. Russ, I'm sorry if this was hidden. Okay, movie game, and then dealer's choice. I will choose trivia for you because I'm not a cruel person. All right, let's go for some trivia. We're less than half now. If you're into breakfast places, there's a great one called First Watch near Biltmore Village. We have some First Watches around here. We went to Early Girl Cafe Sunday. And then Saturday, we went to a dive, man. We went to a diner because it was the only place that was open whenever we had to eat to get Logan to her massage. Okay, trivia time. Yeah, Early Girl was excellent, by the way. The Early Girl was fantastic. The banana bread we ordered because I saw it as a side, and I was like, banana bread as a side? That sounds fantastic. And so I ordered it. We got that as like an appetizer, and man, that was some good banana bread, and their coffee was amazing. Okay, question. Trivia. Zando. I'm going to read this one once. This is a trivia for Zando. Please, nobody else answer other than Zando. Question. What is Indiana Jones' profession? What does Indy do? You'd have to be a real nerd to know the answer to that question. Okay, movie game. In the meantime, that's it. That is it. Yeah, little known actually in the one of the cutscenes away in the second movie. It flashes back to his days with what's his name? Vance Refrigeration, Steve Vance, whatever his name is. All right, here's your movie game. Bob Vance, Vance Refrigeration. That's it. Chuck got me. Okay, that's how you knew to get the fridge and the crystal skull. And I remember I nearly stood out of my seat whenever they said that. You were thinking professor. He is not a professor, Pineapple Pub. Xando, do you know the real answer? Because now Pineapple has thrown one out. No, he's not. Although I guess that could be like one of his professions. So this might not be a very fair question. He has definitely professed before. Okay, here is your movie game. Snake Charmer, that's it. 2 movie titles. Again, let Xando answer first. A little girl befriends a kind behemoth she meets outside her window, who takes her on an adventure where they team up with General Hawk, Duke, and Snake Eyes to take down Destro. It's a good one. A little girl befriends a kind behemoth she meets outside her window, who takes her on an adventure where they team up with General Hawk, Duke, and Snake Eyes to take down Destro. I met a Bob Vance through work, and he said it's Bob Vance like Vance Refrigeration. That's amazing. Yeah, what a name to have, huh? BF. Oh, you did not get the full title. Do you want to try again? You got to get the full title. There's a colon. There's a colon. Half points. We'll give you another chance. Complete the title. By the way, Pineapple, he is an archaeologist. But professor, I think, is also a fair answer. Because, as I said, he definitely does profess. All right. Let's do our advent calendar while Xando can see if he can think of the title of the G.I. Joe movie. All right, so we got several to do today because it is the 14th, yeah? It is the 13th, okay. A professor of archaeology. He's in archaeology, a professorship. Oh no! Oh, it's tiny. Ah! Oh, I love that. Oh my goodness! These keep getting stuck. Holy moly! What is this? It's a sticker book. Okay. I'll bring all this stuff over. Don't worry. We're already halfway through my holiday calendar. How is that okay? All right, last one. All right. Okay. BFGI Joe, The Rise of Cobra. That's it. Chats in the clap for Xando for getting it twice. So nice he got it twice. What's up, nerds? How we doing, Duck? How we doing? Which carries the prerequisite of being an archaeologist. He's both. All the above. Okay, so the first thing I got was this adorable little Ice Cube coin, which I actually really love. Ice Cube is quickly becoming one of my new favorites. He's growing on me. I think he's super cute. So I got Ice Cube. I got the Sword and Shield expansion weird deer thing, Calyrex V. Got that. And then I got a sticker book of Ice Cube, Glaceon, and Pikachu. Nothing much. And then we got a pack of cards here, Astral Radiance, that we're going to go ahead and open up and see what is inside. Let's see what we got. Folks, do let me know how your weekends were. I want to know. 1, 2, 3 to the front. Please do tell me how your weekends were. I hope everybody had a good one. Okay, here's our cards for today. Ooh, by Sharp. Azelf. Shieldon. Barboach. Scyther. Eevee. Heracross. Mantine. All right, our reverse is Quillfish, and our rare is Regirock. Okay, we got a pseudo legendary. I'll take it. I'll take a pseudo legendary. Chats in the clap, please. Thank you. Okay, that's Advent. Should we do Manga Spice Cafe and then Crossfire, or Crossfire and then Manga Spice Cafe? The options are endless. Except they're not. They're actually 2. There are precisely two options. Let's start with Crossfire. We'll start with Crossfire, especially since I really still don't know if it's supposed to be watched or not. But this is the Crossfire news that comes out each week. This is for the 14th. Oh, I wonder, is that why? Maybe it's not supposed to come out till tomorrow. Exclusive. You guys are getting an exclusive. You guys are getting an unpermitted exclusive here. You ready? All right. YouTube window. Ka-chow. Here we go. We're going to watch our Crossfire Faithless Gaming News. If you don't know Crossfire, they are another wonderful Christian organization doing ministry here on Twitch and Discord and podcast feed and all sorts of stuff there. So Crossfire is putting together these weekly news programs that we watch together to support them a little bit, give them a little algorithmic love, and support the ministry that they're doing. So here we go. This is Russ. Let me make sure I got everything turned on. Closed captioning is on. It is 1080p, and we are good to go. Enjoy the show.
Today's show, so much news as we had the Game Awards, plenty of game announcements. Microsoft is being sued, and our very first mini review of the Callisto Protocol.
Mini
all
review
coming at you next.
Crossfire.
What's up, everybody? I'm Russ
working too
Dornish for Crossfire Faith and Gaming, and this is Crossfire News, your weekly guide to video game news, video game new releases, and starting today, video game mini reviews. So let's jump into it. The Game Awards were held this past week, and there were plenty of new games announced, as well as the actual award winners to discuss. First is the list of new game announcements coming soon to consoles and PC everywhere. Some of the new game highlights include Judas, the first title from BioShock creators and Ken Levine in more than 9 years. The game looks very similar to BioShock, so it is something we will be very interested once it releases. Kojima also made an appearance, showing off the trailer for his Death Stranding sequel DS2. Of course, it was Kojima-esque with a very confusing trailer, but we are still super excited to get to play this. Star Wars Jedi Survival, the sequel to Jedi Fallen Order, was announced with a March 17th release date. The trailer included a number of new gameplay mechanics and the continuing story of Cal Kestis. Finally, the other exciting announcement came from Supergiant Games as they revealed the sequel to Hades in Hades 2. Other games were announced, including Armored Core 6, Final Fantasy 16, and Street Fighter 6, to name a few. There were so many announcements, and this just skims the surface of some of the exciting games shown off. So make sure to check out a full recap video or watch the awards on video on demand on YouTube. Besides the games announced, of course, there was a ton of awards given out as well. The big winners of the show include God of War Ragnarok and Elden Ring. Elden Ring, of course, won Game of the Year and came away with a total of 4 awards. And God of War Ragnarok won a total of 6 awards, including Christopher Judge winning Best Actor for his portrayal of Kratos. A big surprise was Stray taking home both Best Indie and Best Debut Indie Game as well. Of course, if you watch the show, you'll know the Game Awards had their Taylor Swift Kanye moment when a kid took the mic during the Game of the Year presentation. The kid was subsequently arrested, but it is not known yet what charges he will be facing. Quite a year 2022 has been for gaming, and one that will be in our memory for a long time. Finally, hold on to your seats. We told you we would update you on the Microsoft and Activision merger, and well, the FTC has officially sued Microsoft over the acquisition. Taken straight from the FTC web.
I just noticed also he didn't mention whatchamacallit, the FromSoft game. FromSoft was a really big deal. People were, I know Jeff was super excited about that. And it's always a rare opportunity whenever you get to see Jeff Keighley nerd out because he's so professional and has such good decorum. But whenever he nerds out over something, you know it's exciting. And he nerded out a lot over the FromSoft game that I can't remember. It's Iron something. So that's very exciting stuff. Iron Core, maybe. And I agree. A lot of the rewards were a bit silly and a bit off from my personal takes, but you know, is what it is.
website in regards to these actions.
Till we're on the jury, we
It
don't have much
says,
say.
Microsoft has already
Armored
shown
Core.
that it can and will withhold content from
Not
its
Iron
gaming
Core.
rivals, said Holly Vadova, director of the FTC's Bureau of Competition. Today, we seek to stop Microsoft from gaining control over a leading independent game studio and using it to harm competition in multiple dynamic and fast-growing gaming markets. Microsoft's Xbox Series S and Series X are one of only 2 types of high-performance video game consoles.
Yes,
Importantly,
absolutely.
Microsoft also offers a leading video game content subscription service called Game Pass, as well as a cutting-edge cloud-based video game streaming service, according to the complaint. Activision is one of only a very small number of top video game developers in the world that create and publish high-quality video games for multiple devices, including video game consoles, PCs, and mobile devices. It produces some of the most iconic and popular video game titles, including Call of Duty, World of Warcraft, Diablo, and Overwatch, and has 1 million of active monthly users around the world, according to the FTC's complaint. Activision currently has a strategy of offering its games on many devices regardless of producers. In a complaint issued, the FTC pointed to Microsoft's record of acquiring and using valuable gaming content to suppress competition from rival consoles, including its acquisition of ZeniMax.
Uh-oh. I think Russ might have put in the whole trailer there. Oh, no. We'll skip ahead a little bit.
Where we review Callisto Protocol. After 100%ing Callisto Protocol, we here at Crossfire give it a 2.5 out of 5. The spiritual successor to Dead Space brings some creepiness and scares,
Solid
but the
mid.
repetitive gameplay, frustrating controls, short story, and a lack of replayability make this game one that we recommend getting on sale if you really want to experience it. The game is rated M for heavy gore and brutal violence as well as language, meaning this game takes a very hard, mature rating and
What's up,
shouldn't be
Pete?
played
How
by
we doing, my
those who are
friend?
under the age of 18. Finally, we have the brand new releases for this week, which features a number of heavy hitters. First up, we have Game Pass
I could not be
exclusive High
less
on
excited
Life from
about
the
this
mind of Justin Roiland comes High on Life, coming to Game Pass December 14th. Fresh out of high school with no job and no ambition, you've got nothing going for you until an alien cartel that wants to get high off humanity invades Earth. Now, you and a team of charismatic talking guns must answer the hero's call and become the deadliest intergalactic bounty hunter the cosmos has ever seen. Travel to various planets and locations, go up against the nefarious Garmantuous and his gang of goons, collect loot, meet unique characters, and more in this latest comedy adventure. Also released this week includes Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII Reunion, which is the HD remaster version of the smash hit prequel to Final Fantasy VII. In addition to all graphics being remastered in HD, fully voiced dialogue and new soundtrack arrangements make for a dynamic new retelling of a beloved classic. Crisis Core Reunion follows the story of Zack Fair, a young warrior admired by the boy destined to save the world, trusted by men renowned as heroes or of legend, and loved by the girl who holds the fate of the planet in her hands. The tale of Zack's dreams and honor, the legacy that connects him to Cloud, is revealed in full in this grand saga that has broken the limits of an HD remaster. And the last game releasing this week, or I should say the last update this week, is the next-gen update for Witcher 3. As we noted last week on our show, the details of this release: play as Geralt as he seeks out Ciri before the wild hunt finds her. The Witcher 3 upgrade also includes free DLC based on the Netflix game, and if you own the game already, the upgrade and DLC will be completely free. Check it out December 14th. That's all for this heavily packed show. Make sure you guys like and subscribe to this video. Comment down below with your thoughts on all the news and stuff we covered today. I'm Russ Dornish for Crossfire Faith and Gaming. You are loved, you belong, you matter. Have a great week, and God bless.
Yeah, I'm going to drop it in the chat. Feel free to go throw them a like, subscribe, and a comment if you haven't already. We want to support Crossfire and the stuff that they do, and let them know that they matter to us and that the stuff that they create is important to us as well. Okay. Yeah, I kind of get you, maybe 30. I really enjoyed the first season or two of Rick and Morty. And then I fell out of it pretty hard because it just kind of kept becoming the same thing. I don't know. I'm too into anime, man. I'm too into anime. I can't get into any cartoons anymore. It's all anime. Cartoons just don't feel as deep to me, which is about the most weeby thing I can say. But it's just the way I feel, man. But yeah, I think I think he's best when he works with Dan Harmon, and yeah, it's definitely a niche. You got to be in the mood. CPC was in my top watch list. All right, let's go. Love it, dude. Love it, Duck. Appreciate you. Appreciate you being a top watcher. By the way, I saw Perry right when we started watching the video was going on lurk. So thank you, Perry, for your lurk. Thanks to anybody else that needs to lurk or hop off or whatever may happen as the time goes on. We're gonna get into Manga Spice Cafe, and then we're gonna start GRIS. We're gonna start game. We're gonna start that boy. Ooh, that boy. Okay, let me see if I can find my X-Acto knife. I cannot. So we're gonna open like this. Manga Spice Cafe, for those of you that do not know, is a monthly subscription box that sends 3 new manga to your doorstep every month. They do not sponsor me, but they could. You could. We can make this happen, Manga Spice. I'll do it. I love your product and I want to represent it, so I do anyway. Manga Spice Cafe sends you 3 manga every single month that are new and trending, and also an assortment of snacks from the Asian part of the world. So yeah, we're gonna give it a shot and see what's inside, find out what's in here. What I like to do for these videos is I like to go through, say, the manga that we got, try all the different snacks, and then kind of give a basic adjustment of like, hey, how much I spent for this and how much did it actually wind up getting me? Did I lose buying this or was it a win? All right, let's find out. They also all have themes. It's based off of a maid cafe, hence the Spice Cafe, Manga Spice Cafe. All right, so this is, ooh, they changed up their logo. So you always get a little magazine, but this is one of the nicer ones. They have something different. So it's this theme time, I guess, is on an epic journey. Let's go on an adventure. Never seen that before. So they're definitely changing things up a little bit there. This is Usagi-chan, ready to go on an epic journey with me and Bun Bun, the bunny. We packed some action-packed tales of mystery and adventure and yummy snacks to dive into. Let's find out. Before we read that, I want to see them for the first time. I don't want to read about them. So let's go through our snacks for today. Looks like we have some kind of like rock candy here. Yeah, so there we go. Rock candy of some sort. We've got, looks like a little like lychee maybe? Maybe some little lychee berries. Something lychee-esque. They always give you a pack of ramen, so today's ramen is instant noodle barbecue chicken flavor. Sounds delicious. We got some kind of chicken something. Gom gom. Gom 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 gom. I guess that's the sound a chicken makes. It looks like more ramen. Either it's ramen or it's ramen flavored something. We got some pretzels, a little roll of pretzels here. A lot of savory so far. Can't read that, but we got some Lay's chips in whatever flavor this is. I don't know what flavor this is, but this is the flavor that we got today. We don't always get a drink, but we often get a drink. Today's is milk tea, which sounds fantastic. If you've never had milk tea before, it's quite the treat, and I'm excited for it. Love it. All right, and then we got a little Swiss roll, a little Swiss cake roll here. Looks like a pretty basic flavor. They typically give you a little pair of chopsticks. Yeah, I'll drink the tea. Don't worry, I'll try everything. The only time I don't drink the drink is if it's a collectible. And I don't think this one is collectible. This just looks like one you'd buy in the store. Okay, let's get after it. Let's see what this is all about. First, we're gonna take a look at our manga. Let's see what we got here. If I can get in here. All right, gotta set my stickers out. Oh, there's a leaf in here. They also always give you 10 points whenever you collect 120 points. So whenever you do a full year, you send in your sheet, they'll send you a free box. So there you go. Pay for a full year of these and you get a free box. I don't know what this is. I don't know what's happening here, but this is this was in there. Whatever it is, it looks like a little leaf. And we got it. It's ours now. First up is Beyond the Promised Neverland. I loved The Promised Neverland. For those of you that never read that, don't watch the show unless you want to watch just season 1. But Beyond Promised Neverland, let's learn a little bit about what this is about. From the creators of The Promised Neverland comes a collection of their best short stories, including a special one-shot with the key elements that will later go into the biggest hit, and an epilogue that shows what the main characters are up to after the end of the manga series. I love that! I'm most excited about the epilogue, to say the least. Very cool. So it looks like it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 different bits and pieces. Oh, super exciting. I love it. So what is the OG series this is based on? This is an extension of. If you've never heard of Promised Neverland, it is a manga that it really would be best read. I can't really describe too much of it without spoiling pretty much everything. But yeah. We do actually have a nerdy sermon on it back from the very, very, very beginning of our Advent series, of our Advent of the Nerd series. So it does exist on our YouTube channel. The second book of today is Mission Yozakura Family. Taiyo Asano has been on his own ever since his parents died. The only one who seems to care for him is his childhood friend and classmate, Mutsumi Yotsukara. But Mutsumi has a secret. She's the head of a family of spies. Taiyo Asano is a super shy high school student. The only person he can talk to is his childhood friend Mutsumi Yotsukara. However, Mutsumi comes from a line of master spies with amazing powers. Her oldest brother Kyoichiro is obsessed with Mutsumi and out to kill anyone who gets remotely near her, and his next target is Taiyo. The only way for Taiyo to save himself from Kyoichiro's murderous clutches is to marry Mutsumi. Cool. 2 shonen jumps this time, huh? The art is already interesting enough. I want to know everything. I want to know everything about Bucket Boy here. I want to know everything about this guy. Hang on, let's see if I can get him to focus. I want to know everything about that guy. I want to know everything about him. I want to know his life and how he feels about things. Who said I'm not, Duck? Oh, no way. I wonder if this is why I got a tiny little leaf. Miyazaki. That's a pretty big name. That's a pretty big pull, I would say. It looks like I got Hayao Miyazaki's latest work, Shuna's Journey. That's pretty much the coolest thing I've ever heard of. This is gorgeous. So I think I know what I'm reading first. Are you kidding me? Miyazaki, dude? Look at it. It's so him. That's so his style, his aesthetic. Oh, I can't wait. And it's full color. The whole thing is full color. Oh my goodness. That's so cool. What a great pull. Now that's huge. Yeah, there he is. There's the dude. There's the boy. There he is. There he is. There's the man. He would not like me very much. Okay. Shuna, the prince of a poor land, watches in despair as his people work themselves to death, harvesting the little grain that grows there. And so, when a traveler presents him with a sample of seeds from a mysterious western land, he sets out to find the source of the golden grain, dreaming of a better life for his subjects. It is not long after he meets a proud girl named Thea. After freeing her from captivity, he is pursued by her enemies, and while Thea escapes north, Shuna continues toward the west, finally reaching the land of the godfolk. Will Shuna ever see Thea again, and will he make it back home from his quest for the golden grain? Cool! Cool! I'm so excited about that. Yeah, that'll definitely be first. That will be the first one that we read, and then we'll probably read The Promised Neverland, and then we'll read Yozakura Family. So just purely based off of these, Miyazaki's is $27. The other two are $10 each. So we're up to $47. I paid $35. This month was worth it. This month was more than worth it. Huge deal, huge get, and we still have our delightful snacks that we got to try. So in order to start with a palate cleanser and an amuse-bouche here, let's start with our milk tea to reset our palate before we see how the rest of these treats are going to be, yeah? Miyazaki's a pretty big deal, dude. All right, milk tea. Hopefully it didn't say, like, shake well or something. It didn't. All right, some Assam milk tea. Cheers. That's good. It's good. Weird coming out of a can, but good. Good. All right, let's start with our savories then, and then we'll work our way into our sweet. I need to know what Gom Gom is, so we're gonna let's read. They also give you a little magazine each time. I showed it to you earlier. Whenever you open the actual magazine, it's gonna show all of the things that you need to know. So like, where do your snacks come from? A little bit about all the authors, and then just some news about the authors. So we're gonna read and see what's going on. Oh, and it is a little Sprout bookmark. Yeah, there you go. So the little Sprout bookmark, you can see there. You can stick it out of the top to save your page, or place it inside the book and watch it sprout. Neat. Let's see what we can learn about our snacks here. Maruta Kanpaido, in the Miyazaki film Spirited Away, the suit sprites, or Susuwatari, working in the boiler room, are thrown handfuls of the Japanese sugar candy Kanpaido. No way! I didn't know that was when they were thrown. Oh my goodness. That makes me not want to eat them. I want to save them forever. I've had tons of these before, but this is what they were throwing the little suit sprites. That's adorable. That's adorable. Let's see. Lay's. It is a potato chip, food wrapped in leaves, and kam means one bite. Myang kam, food wrapped in leaves and one bite. That helps me. None. Garlic onion pretzels, sure enough. Chewy lychee gummies, sure enough. All right, so they told me nothing about Gom Gom. I know nothing more about Gom Gom. We're just going to try Gom Gom and hope that it's savory. It looks savory, so I'm going to tell myself that it's savory. We're going to start with the one bite chip. This is the one bite chip. One bite! One bite man. Let's go for it. Smells delicious. Smells delicious. Looks like chips. Looks as chippish as you can ask. It kind of smells like sour cream and onion. Oh, interesting. It tastes a little bit like a carrot. It's not entirely un-carrot-like. It's kind of sweet like a carrot. Okay. Gum gum. I really wanted to catch a slack off, but after hours of searching and using sandwiches, I give up. Time to breed my slacking with the Ditto. That's what I did. That's what I wound up doing. Whenever I was doing my Dex completion, I just went through and made babies of the ones I couldn't find. This is straight up ramen. Am I supposed to cook this? It's just ramen. But it's not enough ramen. Dude, it's just ramen. What is this? Well, I just ate some Gom Gom. I don't know if I was supposed to boil the Gom Gom, but I got some Gom Gom and I ate some Gom Gom. And it was good. It tasted a little bit like the chicken flavor. Okay, next we've got these pretzels. We're gonna try these pretzels. They look just like pretzels. What do you think they're gonna taste like? My bet's on pretzel. Oh, they're soft. Yep. Oh, it tastes just like Chex Mix. Mmm. Those are Chex Mix pretzels. Oh, yes. A whole tube of Chex Mix pretzels? Yes. It actually kind of tastes like the breadstick from Chex Mix. You know what I'm talking about? The breadstick from Chex Mix? That's the one. That's what it tastes like. Boom. Okay. Milk tea time. Mush bush. Clear the palate. Clear the palate. Let's try our lychee first, and then we'll do our cake, and then we'll finish with the Pop Rocks, yeah? Lychee first. Oh no! I cut too high. Yeah, Zando, I need to hook up with you sometime soon and give you all the exclusives. I'll trade you all the exclusives soon, I promise. All right, it is straight up just a lychee gummy, so it's more like a fruit snack. But I'm beginning to love the lychee flavor. Fantastic. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10 would chew again. And am chewing quite a lot. I have a Stunky from Wonder Trade, but that's it so far, dude. I can get you the whole Dex. And while you're still waiting to unlock, or have you already beaten the Elite Four? Is that when you unlock the ability to judge Pokemon? I was gonna say I can guarantee you they'll be amazing if you want me to. All right, time for the little Debbie. A little dry. A little dry, but it did come all the way from China. Did come all the way from China. Pretty good. Pretty good. Let's end it with some Pop Rocks. I'll throw some to some Suit Sprites. They're so delicious. I mean, they are just the little stars, yeah. They are just straight up the little stars from Xando, you've got your order a little out of whack. You do need to defeat the Elite Four and the Star Camp, but you will not be able to do the Crater until after those two. Just a heads up. If you're ready to take on the Elite Four, you're probably ready to take on Arven. And once you do, you'll learn that you actually can't. Can't do the Crater yet. Okay. Folks. You will do it in that order or not at all. Then it will be not at all. Folks, that has been Manga Spice Cafe. Thanks for tuning in and watching with us. If you're on YouTube, everybody in the chat say hi, YouTube. We thank you for watching these videos and checking out with us. Be sure to leave us a comment down below, especially if you watch this far in the video, to let us know that you like this video. Give us a thumbs up if you want more of this kind of content. If you want more of Manga Spice Cafe, we're happy to keep doing it. Happy to keep making it. I love these. I will keep ordering these, especially as long as they keep sending me Miyazaki, dude. That's huge. So huge shout out to Manga Spice Cafe. Really do appreciate all the hard work that they put into these boxes. I'm happy to be a patron of theirs while I am able. So check out Manga Spice Cafe. They don't pay me to say that, but I just recommend them because I think their product is really cool. At the very least, watch these videos and see if a month is right for you and if you might want to check them out as well. And we want to let you know that we are Checkpoint Church. We're really a church. I'm Nerd Pastor Nate. I'm really a pastor. And we believe 3 things to be true about every single one of you watching this YouTube video at any point in time. Number 1, we believe that God loves you, like really, really loves you. Number 2, we love you. We want community with you. That's what we're doing here on YouTube and Twitch and Discord. Number 3, that you, yes, you matter. You are a person of sacred worth. The world is a better place. Why? Because you are in it. Folks, with that, thank you for watching this video, and I'll be sure to see you in the next one. Bye-bye! Okay, what's up, Twitch? We're back. We back to the chat. Okay, let's play some GRIS. Let's play some Gray. Let's play some greasy granny. I gotta get my controllers all set up, get everything going here. Or I could just keep on listening to Pudding. Are you kidding me, dude? This track kills. By the way, happy 3rd week of Advent. I don't know if you saw, the pink candle is lit. Hope, peace, and love to each and every one of you. But no joy! Not till Sunday. And I better hear nothing of the sort. There better be no joy shared until Sunday. How dare you? Alright, so, as we get into this game, let me go ahead and say I have never played this game before. I have heard about it for years and years and years. It's been on my backlog for years and years and years. I've wanted to play it. It's been in my zeitgeist. I've heard things about it, but I've never actually heard the story. I have not had this game spoiled for me. So I would encourage all of you to not spoil it for me. If you've played this game before, please don't tell me what happens. I want to experience it for myself. I doubt you'll need to backseat. Typically, I'm not super bad at platformers. Sometimes I can be a little dense, but if I need help, I will be sure to ask for it, and I have a feeling that shouldn't happen, but, you know, time will tell. But with that, let's get right into it. We're going to pause spoofing. Everybody say, bye, spoofy. We're going to get right into the news. And hopefully, full screen will just capture as it ought, but you never really know with games like this. Nomada Studio. What's the motto you? Devolver Digital? Yeah, it's not coming up. Fantastic. Oh, it auto-saves. Okay, good to know. Yay, there we go. Okay. Be sure to let me know if you can hear it, can't hear it, if it needs to be turned up, any of that sort of things. Those are the most helpful thing. Man. Ooh. I'm here for it. Oh man, speaking of Miyazaki. I love the like watercolor overlay they put on it. Oh, little legs. Tiny legs. Oh no! Oh no, her voice! Oh, she's so tired. Oh no! She's in. Not even trying to stabilize, huh? Just letting the wind take her. Gorgeous soundtrack. Thank you, Berlinist. Hit me. All right, let's see. Let's pull up, since we've got the ability, let's pull up the controller, yeah? Since it's a game that at least allows for it, let's go for it. Always go left first. Do not always go left first, okay. Oh, she's so tired. Alright, don't hit the A button. For some reason they programmed this game that A button is fall down. A button is, hey, A, you want to take a tumble? Press A button. Oh, we're zooming out. Zooming out a little bit on this line rider. Slowest line rider ever, dude. Oh no. The fog! Oh, she tumbles. B button is also better be falling. Better A take a tumble. B better be falling. X and Y do nothing. Trigger? Triggers do nothing. Camera does nothing. D-pad? Oh! D-pad made her fall. Gonna fall down. Or was that just because I walked so far? Oh! 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 Now we can check left because we jumping. Yeah. Break the rules. Oh. You okay? You're all right, Greasy. Is that maybe the hand? Is that the broken hand? Am I like seeing the broken hand and I'm like, no! My beautiful floating hand. Okay. Good to know. Okay, back we go. Now we're back where we started. Yup. I don't like the look of those rocks. Don't like the look of those rocks. They look like tripping rocks. They look like they're gonna trip me. I don't want to trip. Can I jump up here? Nope. Yeah. Whoa, that looks like quite the tumble. I don't know if I should be taking tumble quite that. That feels like too big of a tumble to take, but here we go. Bye-bye. Okay. No falling damage. But you got it. Okay. I'm gonna fall through the cracks. Yay! Yup. Yup. Nope. Ooh. Hello there. Who are you? Kind of like a constellation. I like how it moves like a constellation. That's interesting. It moves on purpose how the NPCs in Pokemon move on accident. That's kind of fun. Okay, well this feels too ominous to not check back here, huh? Boing. Boing. I mean, how could I not, right? Hey, Boxman. Bye, Boxman. Ah, come on, Boxman. Can I knock you over? Mama said knock you out. No? Can I climb this? Well, whatever do I do? There's got to be something. Ooh, constellation. Hello. Another one? Oh. Oh, okay. They're gonna make a little bridge for me. Mama said, "Talk this out." So there's got to be another one I can get somewhere. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Ah! This is nope. Where's Jordan Peele? Get Jordan Peele out of my grease. Get your Jordan Peele out of my grease. Oh, it is a constellation. Look at me. I was right. I guess spoilers for nope. Whoopsie. Whoopsie. Fallers. See, I thought there was another one down here. Do I fall? I do not. I was almost there, but I wasn't quite there. Okay. Alright, well, I have 3 now. Don't I? Or did they stay? No, I have 3. Okay, so now I can do this one. And they come back to me. I have my 3 friends. Because we're the 3 best friends that anyone could have. Oh, there's another hand. Just how many hands have fallen in this neck of the woods? Ah, another hand! I didn't realize we could levitate. Ooh. Is that blood or we recoloring the world? Are we like adding the red tinge? Okay. Yes, we added red. I got the achievement, red. Okay. I really want to go back and get that other one. There was another one back there and I want it. But I don't know if I don't have the thing that I need to do it. Hey, you're playing it. What's up? What's up, H-Man? Ooh, what is that? What does that mean? 2 and then 2 on top. Early thoughts? I think maybe we've already done the soundtrack so far. Soundtrack is gorge. Yeah, that's where I stand. Hang on. Where are they going? Do-do-do-do. There's not enough of you. There's nowhere near enough of you. Oh no, please tell me you're not gone. You didn't leave me, did you? Dex is at 310. You're making headway. Did they leave? Was this a drop-off? Did I drop them off at daycare? No! I wasn't done with them. What if I still needed them? No! I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready to drop them off for good. Oh no. Okay, well, here we are. Yeah, but I like it. I mean, it's I haven't really gotten to much yet. The art style is obviously gorgeous. The sound is gorgeous. What does that mean, you think? What could that possibly mean? So far, it's been a little more than go right. Ooh. Oh, I can jump. Soundtrack is a 10 out of 10. Yep, so far it's been fantastic. Art style is super inspired. I don't know how I feel exactly about her pointy little legs. Right now it feels like Anzu, the bobsledding game. Did you guys ever play Anzu or Anzu or however you say it? Man, that game was fun. That may be my favorite mobile game of all time. Point. Okay. Now I have a halo. Why? What for? Let me see your halo. You gotta make some more tea. We're out of tea. I'm out of tea. I'm out of touch. Did it just take over? Was I doing any of that? I just realized I don't even know if I was doing any of that. GRIS. Alright, I guess now we're starting. It is definitely gorgeous. Bye. The floor. Oh wait, is this where I started? That wouldn't make any sense. No, but it is something. What are you? Do you give me 3 of them? Okay. Okay. Bye then. It was nice to meet you. I guess you're just a thing I've done. Yeah, I'll see you again. Hope you're well. You sure you don't want to send your little friends? Make a bridge for me? Okay. All right. See you never. Nope. I keep wanting to jump on all the parallax elements, but none of them are actually parallax elements. That tree in particular reminds me of Samurai Jack. Both kids are sick and miraculously asleep. Time for me to go nap too. Enjoy a nap, Zando. Enjoy it, enjoy it. Thanks for your lurk. Rest well. This music would help you rest. Go look up the GRIS soundtrack OST on Spoofy. Enjoy it. Oh, maybe not. That would wake me up. No, the wind. No, I shan't. I shan't give in. That was very eventful. Can I jump on these parallax elements? These count. The other ones did not count, but these count. Oh, no. 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 I'm just not 100% certain why I'm up here. Was there no reason for me to be up there? Why did they let me go? No! Don't tumble! Okay, off we go. Off we go. Nice. Oh, now I have one. Now I have one with me. Yup. Bye. Will I be faster than the wind? No, the wind is still faster even than bobsled me. Man. You would think the bobsledding would make me faint. But clearly is not true. Yup. Yup. But why? Ah. Yes. But I need two. And two is what I do not have. I need another. I need to find your brother. I need to find you a friend. Can these little guys hurt me? Am I supposed to be jumping over them? Friend! Let's see if they hurt me. Yep, they're friendly. They are the unique, friendly avatar. Boink. 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 Oops. Boink. Boink. Oh, not again. Not again! It's too soon. It's too soon with the wind. No one needed to hear from the wind so soon. Don't do it. Don't do it. Not again. Too soon. It's too soon. It's simply too soon. Well, surely, oh, that's cool. About to say, it shouldn't affect me. I'm the gingerbread man, baby. Boink. Done did it. What did I do, you ask? I don't know. But I did it. Thank you. Thank you. Here I go. I'm fine. I'm fine. This is fine. Off we go. This game's put me to sleep. Blink. Ooh. How do I get to you? Shot. Shot. I need like a double jump. Shot. Or like a ground pound. Is there a ground pound? Will I unlock a ground pound? I must, right? I think once we get the next color, assuming that's how this game progresses, which I'm just assuming based off of the fact that I got one color and not a bunch, means that I'll take a break there to get some more tea. Too many slices. Here we go. Looks like a dice. A die, indeed. I am block. Oh, I am square. So I'm assuming that's what I need to do that. And the wind won't push me because I am block. I am cube. Cube not move my wind. Cube is cube. Wind not move cube because cube is cube. Kershmack. Kershmack. Kershmack! That's what I thought. I still don't know what those are. Kershmack. I shan't. Oh, I can actually walk. I love it. Okay, cool. So that way it doesn't move me backwards. It's not a huge bunch forwards, but, you know, better than nothing, I suppose. Kind of looks like I can crush through these ones. Maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, I must be wrong. They do look that way. Nope. She thick. Strong, independent cube. Oh, no, not so strong. Oh, bearing the world, dude. No! Well, that's very hard to see. Oh, she's sad. She's sad, though. One of us. Should I adventure this way first? Should I know that nothing's this way? I mean, I'm assuming, right? You know what happens when we assume. Oh dear. Oh, I don't know. I could see it going either way. Do I need to do the thing? Do I need to not do the thing? Do I need to crush the boy? He's never hurt me. In fact, quite the opposite. He's only ever been very helpful. So I guess I'm not going to crush his head. Swoop. Why is it allowing me to progress? Okay, good. No! Why? Well, I gotta go. I gotta go back. I don't want to miss something. Oh, that's very strange. Why? Why is it this way? Why is it the way that it is? I have to know. I can't just not know. This is fine. This is fine. I'm fine, I'm sure. I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm certain this won't lead anywhere darker than this. Okay. Oh. Those birdies are down below, but they are not above. Oh. So many flutterbys. Crush those. Oh, this seems fine. What's up? Okay. Ah, yes. Ah, yes. The classic butterfly volcano. Can't tell you how many times I've seen it. It is a real legend in these parts. The butterfly volcano. Right now, it does kind of feel like scenic. Whoa! Whoa! Okay. I'm probably fine. I'm probably fine. Nothing weird or ominous about any of these weird shapes. Strange things going on. I'm assuming I'm going to ride one. Oh, good. Wasn't sure if I had to jump onto it for it to recognize my body, or if it just did it. Oh, good. I was worried about making that jump. Oh, we're back into Red World. Red World! Hello, friends. Hello. And where might I be? Oh, I don't have that many constellations. Ooh, oh, puzzle, okay. Match the shape. No. No, anything but no, twice. How dare I? Thank you. I have enough for this side. Shot. All right, we're getting in cozy mode. If they're going to keep playing piano, I got to get in cozy mode. If they're going to keep on with the melancholic vibes. Swoop. Yo! What's up? Heyo! Cool. Nice. No! Are you yoking? How do I get it back? Oh no! Oh no! Okay, good. Sure. Nice, dude. Now we got a 3-pack. Whoa. Good morning. Okay, can I get on top of that? Can I get on top of this thing? Swoop. Need I get on top of this thing? That's maybe a better question. There's clearly something over here, yeah? They wouldn't just put this here for no reason. It's the thing that I don't know what it does. It's that thing. It's that thing with which I know not to do. Oh, Garbo. Garbo. Why is that unwalkable? Why is only some of it walkable? No! 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 Ugh, that couldn't have gone much worse. I wish I knew what these things did so that I knew if they were worth my time. Because I really messed up. I'm just gonna trust. I'm just gonna trust that I need to do this for the good of the game. For the good of all. I'm gonna tell myself this is a necessary action. Even though I'm not entirely convinced myself. Give me Jesus. They're just for achievements? Alright. I mean, I know I can do it. It's not even that it's challenging, it's just kind of, silly. That is not the point of the uke time, Buish. I'm not busting out Jeremy Camp this morning. You give me a key and a thing to sing about. So I guess I could sing about giving me Jesus. Okay, hang on. Key of F. It might be. Yeah. Well, whatever that did, I did it. Me, the greatest. Sing Give Me Jesus meets Holiday Mayhem. I think the key of F is F-A-B. No, it's FBC. Maybe. I'm thinking through it. I see your redemption. I'm gonna honor it, but I gotta figure it out in my brain space. Oh, the birds! Butterflies. The birderflies. Yup. The greatest. F, B flat, C is the 1, 4, and 5th of F major. I knew it. I figured it out in my brain space. I didn't have B flat though. I was close. Something tells me B flat is gonna be no fun to play on the uke though. It's this puzzle again. Been here, done this. Boink. Oh. Been here. Boink. Oh no. Been here. Boink. Oh no. Boink! Nice! 4 is always a whole step down from B. Perfect intervals outside of X. You know what I did? I realized in my head, GCD is the one I know the best. And then I was like, okay, so take each one of those down. FBC. But B flat is definitely the tricky one because of the CB. That tricky, tricky half step. I don't know where I'm going. Ah! Maybe I need to go to the sides? Do I need to go up? What am I supposed to be doing? Not enough. Okay, so it must be down here. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Butterflies. Why are you here? Oh, it's like right there. Oh, how do I get to it? How do I get to that? Hang on. Hang on a sec. Well, there must be a way. That's me. I am Pythagoras. I am Mr. Theorem. Yes. Nice to meet you. It is I. Please, Mr. Theorem is my father. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Okay, I can definitely do this. Oh, I think I did it. I think I did it. Yes, very nice. Very nice. Please don't float away. Am I on a timer? Oh no! Oh no! It's a timer! What do we do? Okay, never mind. I was worried. I was a little scared that I was on a timer and that I had really messed up. Well. Maybe it was a timer. Was it indeed a timer? Mr. Theorem is your father. His father. Well, why is this one giving me such a hard time? Such a fit. Quick. New. Oh my goodness. I can't get up. I can't get down. I can't go round and round. If only I'd known I was on a timer. Why is it shaky shake? Do I need to be up there? How do I get over there? Ugh. I'm going to tell myself there was no way for me to ever get up there in time. The amount of steps that were here, and with how bad I am at video games, I would have never gotten there. We're going to go check out the other side, and we're going to come back to this one. Because for whatever reason, it's not clicking. And I really want more tea. I'm sure I can still get it, but it's not clicking, and so I'm going to go to this side. And we're going to get this one first. Unless, of course, you have to go left first, in which case I'm wasting your time. Hashtag sorry, not sorry. I gotta jump on his head. I gotta let him know who's boss, and it's me. I am boss. Yep. Kerslam! Oh no! Oh, he's alive. You know, I wasn't sure what they were going to look like, but that wasn't it. That wasn't one of the options. Okay, cool. But I guess I freed him. buddy. Oh! Well, I thought I freed you, but it would appear that you instead chose another home. Thank you, though. Bye. Bye. Be well. I think it's weird that you inhabit a pot that doesn't inhabit the stone. Why inhabit the pot if you're going to inhabit the stone? Just inhabit the pot. If it won't be pot friend, just be pot friend. It's true. All right, back to the side, I suppose. Oopsie. Okay. Puzzle time. Hashtag let's get puzzling. It like buzzes right here. But why? Why there? Why the buzz? Sure. Oh. There's surely no way to do that. Why buzzing right here? Why would it buzz right here? Is there something to slam upon? Why is it buzzing? It's buzzing vigorously. And then as soon as I step on this platform, it stops buzzing. Silly. Silly. Still want to know why it's buzzing right there. Is it just because thing is close? Must be. So now I gotta figure out how to get in there. Time to race. I'm gonna take it all the way downtown. Bring it around town. Are you ready for the race of a lifetime? Go. So fast, so fast, so fast, so fast. So fast. Ow! Rage! Don't trip. Don't trip, you doofy doof. Ah, I was so close. Yup. Yup. Yes, 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 yes. Make the leap. Do it for mankind. Yes. The greatest gamer remains true and intact. Smack. Yes. Yes, indeed. I've done it. The greatest shall fall and return. Nailed it, dude. I keep waiting for another color to go make myself more tea. What's up, Perry? How we doing? Nice. I'm glad to have all my constellations now. It's always very sad whenever they went home. They're not allowed to go home. They're mine. They're my friends. Ooh, you go this way? I'm a monster. I'm an animal. So am I supposed to start this big old clock? Is that my purpose? Things are going all right, I must say. I love to hear that. Yes. I don't know what this means, but I've done it. What am I supposed to do? It is gorgeous. The soundtrack is very nice. What am I supposed to do? Yeah. 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 Perhaps a great height. Perhaps I must fall from a great height. Could that be the answer? Methinks it might. Yes, the genius I am. No! How? All right. Again. And again we shall try. Boink, 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 boink. No, boink, boink. Come on, boink, boink, boink. It went lower when you jumped and turned into a square. Maybe you need to become a square from up high. I thought I was as high as I could be. Maybe not. Even higher? What? We must aim higher. Higher. Nay, higher yet. You haven't begun to achieve the heights you can. Boom! Yes! Gorgeous work. The greatest. Might I say. Excellent. Excellent. Ludological cleverness there. Because I truly thought I was at the height that I needed to be, and they left a little gap to give me that illusion, and then I tried it, and I discovered that I needed to go higher. Brilliant. Wonderful work. You get an A from the professor. Boink, 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 boink. Hands! New color time. What color am I going to give this time? Blue. Wow. Maybe green? Definitely looks blue. Well, I guess blue and green are intimately tied, yes? Gorgeous. Green. It was green. Beeg. They so beeg. Whoa. Pig bands. I don't like whenever it takes over, but we deal. We deal. Scootin'. Okay, I'm gonna make some tea. I guess I'm gonna come up with some kind of "Give Me Jesus" song on the ukulele for Bweesh, and then we'll continue. We'll get our next color, hopefully. We need hot water. We need it. Does not sound like enough water to boil. I'm a little worried I may have made an error. An error in my hot water making. I'm concerned about it at this point. Okay, let's see. Oof, these are rough chords. Oof, those are rough. Let's see. Let's see how these work on the uke. I don't have my ukulele chords memorized. Nor do I have it tuned. Let's see. That's not that bad. That's not that bad. So let's see. And then a D major ninth, which is a very natural. That actually sounds very... that sounds so ukulele-y, I can't handle it. Those chords definitely do not belong together. I don't even have B flat on this chord chart. But I can do it. And what is this about, boys? What shall this be about? That's really tough chords. Those are like impossible. Oh boy. Oh boy. Is the water ready? Water's ready. Whoa. I didn't spill water everywhere. Let's see. Is it problematic theologically to sing the song Give Me Jesus with silly chords? It's problematic. I was going to make up new lyrics. Man, that's easy to play on the uke. That's so easy on the ukulele. That's very fun. Well, look at that. What a delight. Now we just got to come up with lyrics. So when I can't make the jump, when I fall down in the dumps, oh, when I somehow lose all of the color, we'll get silly with it. Somehow lose all of the colors in the world. And have to go on a transcendental adventure to somehow get them back from big hands. Give me Jesus. Love it. Okay. So now that's way too long. The silliness worked well, but it also made it very difficult to work with. We got this. We got this. We got this. We got this. This is art. This is how art is made. So let's see. It's F, D minor, A sharp, F, D minor, A sharp, C, F. Messi just shared? Or just scored? Shared. When I can't make the jump. And when I... Whoa, no. When I... Oh, backwards. And when I fall in the dumps. Oh, when I somehow lose all of the color in the world and I have to go on a transcendental journey to somehow get them back from really big hands. Give me Jesus. There we go. Chats and clap. We made it work. We made it work. We made it work, you know. Just don't send it to the bishop. That's all I ever ask. Okay. Back we go. Into the brink. All right, so now we have red and blue. Boish, have you been enjoying the World Cup? Slowly puts down the rubrics. Please, leave them far from here. One of these days, I'll write the book on meme theology, dude. Oh. No! No! Stop taking my constellations! Ah, no! Glad the big Western EU contenders got knocked out. What do you think it's going to make when we're done? So is this the original zone? Yeah? Man, I didn't even think to check down there, dude. Square. I want Croatia to win this game against Argentina today, but not likely. Well, assume I know nothing. But I do at least know the name. Messi. Don't know many others. That's pretty much about it. Wow! Hey, birds. Hey, birderflies. I do know the name of a country. I do know some things. Off I go! For real, though, does nobody get Samurai Jack vibes from this? Because I'm getting hardcore Samurai Jack vibes. Is it the square trees? Is it the weird parallax? Is it the pen and ink style? Like, what is it that's giving me Jack vibes? What is it? Surge Sprites! Would you like some of my Pop Rock candy I got in my Manga Spice Cafe? Would you like some Pop Rocks? Would you like some? Don't go! Okay. Phooey. Am I going to get another power up soon? Argentina scored again. I heard, so I know, this is how little I know. I don't even remember any of the names of any of the teams or the things that happened. But apparently there was something very impressive that happened recently with a hat trick. And I barely know what a hat trick was, but I just heard some people talking about it. And I was like, okay, neat. But apparently there was something very impressive that happened very recently. I heard about it on Monday, so I guess it would have happened over the weekend, maybe? Somebody scored them points. Made them goals. Built a goal. Somebody made a goal. Goodbye. Ooh. We land so gentle. Hello, friend. Oh, you are big friend. Can we be friends? Please don't shiver. I'm sorry, but that is someone from Hollow Knight. Without a doubt. Xando needs to wake up from his nap and tell me if that's a Hollow Knight character. Hey guys, it's me again. It's Big Tree here. I'm just gonna settle down. If you guys make sure I don't block a camera or anything. I'm just gonna sit here for a second. Let me know if I'm like blocking a camera. If I'm in the way of anything. I just hate to be in the way, but I gotta sit down for a little bit, you know? Oh, I am? I am in the... No, I'm not in the way? Where am I? Okay, I'm just gonna stay right here. Bye. Bye, Big Tree. Oh my goodness, I love all of these shapes. But yes, it was apparently a guy that was on a team and then left that team and then scored some points and made some goals. And everybody was either upset about it or very excited about it or somewhere in between, depending on how they felt about said individual. And that sounds like every soccer drama that's happened ever. Now, I assume the Charlotte Football Club is in the World Cup this year. I'm almost certain of it, right? Certain that the Charlotte, North Carolina team is definitely in it this year. Boink, boink. You know, I get this puzzle, but I'm not super crazy about it. It looks gorge, but it's actually a little irritating. Was I supposed to stay over there? Was there things to find? Oop. Don't matter. Oh, I gave him a little apple. Oh, he loves it. He loves the apple. Please be my friend. Please. Please. Be my friend. I'm gonna smush your trash. Look, I'm gonna teach you about recycling. Please. I beg of you. He follow? I don't know you're there. You want to talk? No! Naboo! Oh, come on, I totally could have got him by then. What? Dude, I love him. I love him and I want a plush of him. I thought maybe I could fool him. When do I get another power up? It's gotta be soon. Oh, I see. Oh, the apple. You're welcome. Enjoy. Oh, I see there's one over there too. Boink. 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 Oh no! Yeah. 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 Ah! No! I'm gonna get that boy every apple he's ever wanted, dude. Get that apple. Enjoy it. Would you like another? Are we friends? We friends? Ha ha ha! Yes! If this game does anything to Rock Friend, I will riot. Do you hear me? I will find people on Fiverr to go review bomb this game if anything happens to Rock Friend. There were more apples down there for you, Rock Friend. Okay. You eating them apples? Do we have to meet a new kind of apple quota? What's the deal? I love that he also stomp. That's great. Oh, maybe he has to be up there with me? Okay. Gotcha. I got it. Boink. Boink. You can't jump that high? Come on. Yeah. Yeah. Nice. Yeah. 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 And then he can talk to the tree. Thank you, Mr. Tree. Ah! Yeah, I love him. Insert that Stephanie Beatrice meme of I've only known Coco for 5 minutes. Okay. There was an apple up there. Hey, what? What just happened? How'd he get up there? How'd you get up there, Rock Friend? You sneaky little guy. Oh, he's so heavy. I didn't know Rock Friend could also smash rock that big. I thought he was just being cute. But no, he also rocked. Tree. Smash. I see. Understood. Boing. Boing. Rockman? Rock Friend, you scared me, buddy. Please do not ever scare me again. Oh, he tumbled. No, he tumbled. No, catch him. You okay, Rock Friend? You scared me. Got so much work to get done before vacation, so going back to work. All good, Weesh. Thanks for hanging out with us, my friend. Good to see you as always. I got the apples achievement. Yeah, I did. Because I'm the greatest apple gamer around. You gonna talk to the tree? No! 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 I don't want our adventure to end! At least I'm glad you didn't die. I'll take what I can get. I want a new power. Do I get a new power sometime soon? That's what I'd like. I want a new power up. Bye-bye, Rock Friend. My Time with GRIS, a series by... Ooh, ooh! What's up? Do I need 2 constellations to get this power up? Is that what it is? Series by Nate Webb. Wait. Huh. Okay. Was that like a side quest? Was that not even what I was supposed to do? Those guys definitely looked like more Rock Friend. Yes, they do, don't they? They look just like Rock Friend. Are you Rock Friend's family? You look like Rock Friend's body. You just don't have rocks on heads. If you added rock to head, you would all be Rock Friend. Oh, Rock Child. Do you see Rock Child? Look at that baby. Look at that little baby. Hey, buddy. Are you giving me a constellation? Oh. You are my favorite. There is truly none like Rock Friend. Forest spirits, absolutely. Okay. So we've done that. That's only 1 constellation. We still need another. I'm going to tell myself I need to explore this way some. Boing, boing. That's where I just came from. So perhaps I am mistaken. I'm pretty sure the only thing that was this way was Rock Friend. Yeah. Right? Ah, I meant to jump over it. Ah, phooey. Okay, well, here we go again, Rock Friend. I'm back. Rock Friend's like, weren't you just here, dude? I think I need some space. I think I need some space between us, actually. It's just a little, you're visiting too often. We already gave you our constellation, our prized constellation. You're back already? Come on. Give me a little distance. And they say absence makes the heart grow fonder, so maybe give us a little absence, yeah? Do I need to jump over the hole, though? You're being a little clingy. I'm going to try left. I think left makes more sense than jumping over the hole. Because that hole also felt kind of big. Yes, I know. I only have 1 constellation. Stop reminding me. Yeesh. It'd be really nice if this game had a dash. I wonder if that's the next thing we unlock. Boink. Dash would be super handy. Don't get me wrong, I'm enjoying the contemplative nature of the game, but a little pacing would be nice. A little pacing would go a long way. Okay. This is different than before. Why? Why make it a jump puzzle now instead of a timing puzzle? And that's fine. Why change it? Hope that's right. Trust thyself. Wait, there was a thing over there. Oh no. We did it! Whew. Okay. Off we go. Off we go. Nice! Trust thyself! Very good. I wonder what's that way. I probably need to find out. It is a good and faithful thing to trust thyself. New power up? Power up. Woo! Cool. I learned my rocket jump. I got my Freddy W power. Is it Y? No, it's hold A. Oh, it's a double jump. I want to do the rocket thing. Why show me the rocket power and then not let me use it? That's worse than sand in my potato salad. Cruel. Cruel, cruel, cruel. To show cool power up and then not allow use. What's over there? Why did I go there? Okay. The triangle ones are definitely my favorite. The just like oozing with style of this game reminds me a lot of Omori. Not much else reminds me about Omori, but definitely the just pure aesthetic. Like you can tell whoever made this game is an artist. Okay, so I can do that, but only if I have the butterflies. If I don't have the butterflies, I can't do it. If I do have the butterflies, I can't do it. Oh, butterflies. Yes! Oh, nice. There we go. Very good, very good, very good. Yes, dude. Yes, dude. We love it. Now I know there are secrets, but I don't know what they're for still. Do you see those butterflies over there? Wrong button. Ba-boing. So close. Okay. Another one. Too soon. No. Am I doing the right thing? Maybe I'm just misreading the puzzle. I fell off. I didn't jump off. Silly, silly. Watch. Fall off. Jump. Jump. Ah! But why? What am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong? I'm being silly, clearly, in some way, shape, or form. Let's figure it out. Let's figure it out. It would make sense to me that I would jump and then glide. Yes, yes. That's all I was wanting to do the entire time. That silly pillar was unneeded. We didn't need that one. Nobody benefited from that. Nobody liked that. Do I ring this bell? Ooh. Are we getting to a timing rocketeer here? guess not. At least not the way I thought. Yeah. Yeah. That's what I wanted to do. No! How could such a peaceful, blissful game give me such stress and anxiety? I see. Got it. Got it. Solved it. Solved the puzzle, Neo. Ba-boing! Done did it. You think you smarter than me, game? You think you smarter? You think you is smarter than me, huh? Yeah. Okay. Nope. Okay. Boing. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Okay. All right. All right. First time I had to do the double jump out of the cave. Okay. Off we go. I'll let you reset yourself here. Thank you. Uh-oh. Made me a little nervous. Double jump is huge, dude. Not quite as huge as a dash would have been. Pretty close. Whoa! I definitely thought it was there. Okay. Yeah, it was a slow burn. Oh, no. No, no. Whew. Just barely made that one work. Yes. It's also possible that I may just have Omori on the brain because I just watched Weeby News' playthrough of it. And so now I've played it again, and man, is that just the best game ever or what? I made a bad choice, though, and I went and I started reading negative reviews on it on Backlogged, and it just makes me so sad. I don't know what I was thinking. Like, who did I think that would benefit, you know? Well, this is gorgeous. Symmetry is absolutely breathtaking. Oh, she's stepping off the pedestal. Oh, you go, girl boss. You do it. Oh. Black butterfly in the dead of night. Take these broken wings and learn to fly. All your life into an inky blackbird. He knew they were butterflies. I think butterflies a little scary. Butterflies making me a little nervous. Wah! Yep, that's what I thought. I had a feeling butterfly might be a murder fly. It appears I was right. No, butterflies! Ah! No! Stay away from me! Man, I had a bad feeling about those butterflies from the very beginning. There's good butterflies and there's bad butterflies, and that is very clearly a bad butterfly. But gosh, that art looks gorgeous when it screams, doesn't it? It's like Cuphead meets Omori with just this breathtaking, like, ink-style animation. Then the clear Samurai Jack inspiration! What a goodie, dude. Uh-oh. I definitely tried to click A. Whoa! Ah, I see. I can definitely understand why this game won Games for Impact. Makes a lot of sense. Especially with how good of a game it is. The narrative so far is good. It's impactful. Don't know how it compares to some of my favorites. But the actual like gaming part of it is exceptional. The platforming feels really nice. I gotta fly to that tree and then fly past it, I imagine. Okay, not fast enough. Not quite fast enough, it turns out. All right, here we go again. Heyo, okay, he doesn't stop for a while. All right, this is fine. We're fine. We got it. We got it. We got it. Easy puzzle. Come on. Easy peasy, dude. Hey, MPN. Looks like you've been playing for about an hour. How do you like it? I love it. Art style is a 10 out of 10. Music is a 10 out of 10. Gameplay is a 10 out of 10. The story doesn't have me quite yet. I really enjoy the story, but it's not quite getting there yet. But I'm giving it a chance. I've restored 2 colors so far. Aw, do the blackbirds work with me now too? That's so swell. Black butterfly in the middle of the night. I think what's not clicking yet is really the impactful part. That doesn't mean it won't. But it's definitely a work of art, unequivocally. But what I think is so nice is that it really works ludologically. Oh no! I said 10 out of 10 art style. Oh no. Black Butterfly is not on our team. 10 out of 10 art style. Ah! 10 out of 10. No! 10 out of 10 art style. 10 out of 10 music. 10 out of 10 ludological gameplay. Story hasn't quite clicked yet. I would probably give the story like a solid 7 so far. I get what they want to go for, but I'm not quite sure it's registered. Okay, the bells have rung. What does that mean, you think? What does the bells ringing mean? Aha! What I'm most impressed about is the gameplay. Sometimes with these Game for Impact noms, they really suffer as games. And that would be totally untrue of this one. This is a game. Through and through. no, I feel bad now. Oh, I feel bad, Blackbird. Oh. Jump. 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 I actually think Sam Barlow is a pretty good example of how that happens. Because he makes these incredible FMV games. Narratively, they're exceptional. But ludologically, they are really bleh. Can I give you a hint on the storyline? Let me get to the end. I'm sure I'll pick up on it. If I'm still so dense that I haven't figured it out by the end, then definitely. But hopefully I'll get it. There's definitely a lot of symbolism that has only been kind of hinted at with the big hands and stuff like that. Restoring color to the world. And the girl. It's clearly the girl, the statue girl. She's learning to stand up for herself. What color's next? Purple? Blue? Blurple? Purple. Oh, it's raining. Blue. Oh, I see. I don't know how I feel about crawling in her face, but here I am. Kerflump. Ooh, water levels? Okay. Alright, I'm here for it. Oh, fascinating. That's what I mean, man. It is absolutely perfect ludologically. Wow. Like, wow. The art and the game blend so well. Can't quite jump that high, huh? Oh, probably from this big one. Welcome to reverse Echo the Dolphin, right? Okay. Oh, no! I was so close! Aw. Maybe I'll explore this way first. Ooh. Okay. More set sprites. Is it really just going to let me keep going? Well, I don't want to not solve those puzzles. Do I need to go back? I don't want to not save those puzzles. And here we have an exquisite example of Picasso during his blue period. You guys, I got to see some Rembrandts this weekend at the Biltmore. That was very impressive. Some etchings. I didn't get to see any originals, but still very, very impressive. A fun thing to see. It did make me so. It made me so mad. It kept making me mad because everybody kept bringing up about Cornelius Vanderbilt and how he supposedly made his fortune on Staten Island. And hello, how are you, E. Colombo? How old is this church? I've never heard of it. We got started in July of 2020. And, well, technically, I guess August was when we officially, like, we started working on our logo in July. We've been around here on Twitch for a couple of years now. Discord is where most of the good stuff happens. ! Discord if you want to learn more there. And then YouTube, we post a nerdy sermon every single Sunday on different nerdy topics. We are a totally digital, you follow John Wesley, does that mean you're Methodist? Yes, we are United Methodists. We're United Methodist Church plant here in Western North Carolina. And we're totally digital, totally online, doing all the good stuff there. We're happy you're here, though. Welcome in. All right, we're going to try and make this jump. Boink, boink. Yes! Ha ha ha! I've done it. That was a really tough jump. Yeah. Okay. And another. Yeah. Ow! Give me a break, dude. All right. This is fine. I'm fine. I'm peaceful. This is a Zen game. This is a Zen game, and I'm very Zen about it. I'm feeling good. Feeling good. It's easy peasy. No problems. No stress. No stress. No stress. No stress. Easy peasy. I am a pastor IRL. So in the United Methodist Church, we have a kind of like with residency in the medical field. Okay, if I can't make this jump, I'm not going to be able to make the rest of them. I am called a provisional elder. So I am in my final year of my provisional elder. That means that I am an elder. I am ordained. I am a pastor. However, I am still in kind of like a cohort sense in residency. And I will be hopefully in full connection July 1 of next year. Lord willing and the creek don't rise. Yes! What does it do? Okay, good. Please! Oh! That's all it does. I'm doing it! I'm doing it. I didn't realize you were Methodist. JJ just knew you were an awesome Christian pastor. Well, I appreciate that. But yes, we are Methodist. But we are certainly Christian first. My favorite part of being a Methodist is just our connection and our ability to reach out within the system and the denominational support that we receive. And I really do like the teachings of John Wesley. I like how he understood a lot of things, and I use a lot of his practical teachings. Do you know VR Church, Cornerstone, or Pastor Brock? Yes, I know about all three. Are you involved there? I'm not incredibly involved. I've met most of them, or at least heard from them on a podcast, or whatever it may be, or in an email, or on a tweet, or something like that. Admittedly, I am not super passionate. Why? I'm not doing it about virtual reality. I have no problem with VR. The real issue for us is that I am one human being running this totally digital church plant. And if I'm not doing it again. I'm not doing it again. I simply mustn't. Especially since it gives me nothing for those. If it gave me something, and I mean after each one, like I would need a Steam achievement to pop up. I would need some kind of something to encourage me to continue doing that. Underbam, I don't want to. I don't want to. Unless you tell me what it does in a spoiler-free way. I don't want it spoilered for me. I'm exploring Eastern Orthodoxy. Brock converted to EO also. Oh, interesting. Uh-oh, I missed one. Yeah, I would say I am mostly open and curious to other denominational backgrounds or understandings. Super cool. I'm so thankful to what our ancient family has for us today. Agreed. I'm thankful to be in that place where I can just kind of have the maturity to be willing to hear and listen and be able to hold multiple things at once. I'm afraid it's too late. I'm worried I've done something irreversible. Have I? Can I go back? I got a feeling. I cannot. For something later, is it worth it? Is it something that's really, really worth it? Super duper worth it? Are we sure it's not just a picture of Sonic and Knuckles or something? Oh, I might not be able to make it over that, huh? Is that how they lock you off? Yep. I'm locked. Savage, dude. Yeah, is it a different haircut? Do I get to play the game as Crash Bandicoot? Not worth it. Bummer. Well, I've gotten all the stars so far, but that was the first one to frustrate me to the point that I didn't get it. Guybrush Threepwood. Whee. Define worth it. I mean, I got pretty frustrated. Is it worth being really frustrated? Because I was pretty frustrated, but not really yet. Oh, curious. Why are 3 of them lit up now? That's very curious. Okay. But why? But yes, welcome in, C. Columbo. Hang on. Nope. What was the point of that? It should be okay. But collect as many as possible. They will be needed later. I can't say more than that. Well, I have been collecting all of them so far. That was the first one that I've noticed that I have chosen to skip. We're probably most connected to Love Thy Nerd, and Methodist Gaming. Although I don't really know how much they're doing right now. I know they're still doing. I just don't know how much they're doing. We're connected to everybody loosely. Admittedly, VR Church and Cornerstone stuff is probably our loosest connection. I think Pastor Brock was interviewed on one of our Methodist podcasts. I do know Polygon Pastor loosely. That's another one that I know the name. And I think we've met over coffee once, I want to say. That is the tricky part about usernames, is sometimes it gets a little lost in the sauce, and I don't know if I actually know you or don't know you. God Squad Church is doing some great things. Yep, God Squad's the OG. We've known them forever, for sure. Okay. Still not quite figured out what I'm doing here. Why? But why? Okay, that clearly must not be the right thing to do then. How did everything go with them last week, Hunter Fam? Were you a part of their streams? Did they reach their goal? How close did they get to their goal? Is that? It must not be. It must not be what I'm supposed to do. That simply must not be. Lux Digital too. Yeah, we know Lux Digital. I'm doing something silly, and I don't know what it is yet. Listing lots of great people. Hey, list away. I got no problem. They reached their goal. That's fantastic. That is fantastic. Guess I'm going to try down here next because I can't figure out what to do up there. Okay, so I only have 2 left on this side. Fascinating. Very interesting how much it's walling me in now. I miss Rock Friend. But yes, what I was saying was they had some awesome testimonial videos. Yeah, I've been watching some of them. I've been watching their podcasts. I watched the one with Asia and Amanda. And I've got the one queued with Mark. And I'm sure I'll try to watch through most of them. Yes, my stance on VR is I think VR is really cool. I'm fascinated by it. I'm intrigued by it. However, I don't know if I'm passionate enough about it to lead a church there. And there are people doing it very well so far that I would rather just point in the direction of. Is that water upside down? I'm beginning to think that might be water upside down. So funny with this screen name. Why do you say that? Should I be calling him Lux Digital? This plant seems a little off. I see. Yeah, that's cool. That's really clever. I continue on my rant. Everyone calling Mark instead of the lift. Oh no, I call everybody by username that I have met in this platform. He's one of the few people that I don't actually call. People call me Check. A lot of people call me Nate. NPN. Don't bother me a bit. But that is funny that that's something that... Why is this burbling? Any reason that's burbling right there? Why are we burbling there? Has he had anybody call him Lux? Because that's what really... It does throw me off when people call me Check, purely because of the fact that I am not Checkpoint Church. But it doesn't bother me. Ooh. A poozle. Don't mind if I do. I will officially be blaming you for all of Checky's injustices. Checky and Check are totally different. They are two very different entities. And I'll thank you to refer to them separately. Checky is a bully. I think Frost and you are the only ones I call by real name, but when I see you in other chats, I'll tag CPC, but call you NPN. There's an entity known as Check. Yes. I suppose so. We do often name our characters Czech, and so I think that's where it comes from. We don't name them Nate. But that's because it's representative of the chat. If anything is Czech, you are. I know you are. I am. Yo. Ah, I see. That's very fun. Oh, that's so fun. I mean, that is just so clever! It's so clever! It makes me want to cry. It's so clever. The God user in that one game, never. I would never do such a thing. Can't be true. Well, that and Twitch's cultural tendency to shorten usernames and callouts. Yep. Boink. I actually had to sign up for a tag on YouTube recently. Ooh, a power. I need another power. Give me the power. Who is your daddy? Does he turn into a block? I really should get on top of the YouTube game. Man, I am a YouTube OG, dude. I'm more comfortable. I've always been more comfortable on YouTube. What is happening? Did I just get a snapshot taken of me? Can I climb on myself? I'm certain that's what I'm to do, but I can't get on myself. What? I'm certain that's what I'm supposed to do, but oh, a block. That's gonna be really tricky timing. Woo, I gotta memorize this timing. Okay. Oh, that's gonna be so awfully tricky. Okay. All right, we got this. Oh no! We don't got this. I really thought I knew what I was doing. Oh no! What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean? I don't... But that was so smart! Stop. Oh no. Oh no, I'm too tall! No! Oof, this is tough. Wow, dude! That's crazy, man. Wow, okay, nice. Okay, let's see. Where did I? It's just not worth the time to me right off, you know? It's a really tough thing to do. I just know the game. And so it's not difficult for me to follow the game whenever you know the game. Like, I came into Twitch not knowing the game. I've had to learn the game. And admittedly, probably still pretty poorly. But at least I know something of the game. As I understand it, what I like about Methodism is that they have a high place for history. So that means the church fathers and early saints. Freezes a block, froze a stream. It is worth the time in the long run. Lots of folks are speculating that everyone will be moving to the tubes in the next couple of years. Feel so smart. We do respect the church fathers, but do not have a practice of praying to the saints. We certainly love the examples found in their historical lives, though. Yeah, I mean, there are some pretty high church people in the Methodist tradition. I would say Methodism, all in all, is pretty high church. But then there's also about as low church as you get, such as a digital church plant like myself. So it's a little column A, little column B. But yes, we definitely have a higher respect for a tradition than maybe some more modern denominations might. Not saying that necessarily they have a low thought. They might. But I don't think they do. I would never be so bold, you know. Did I do it? Did I do it? High church in the theological sense, but with a lot of low church expression. Yeah. That's a good way of putting it. Por qué no los dos? Oh. I don't... I need to pay attention to this. So it just keeps circling around. It stays open for just a second. I wonder if I flip it at the exact time that the ice freezes, maybe? Does it freeze in place? Let's try it. Nope. I'm gonna solve it. I'm gonna solve it, folks. Don't solve it for me quite yet. Don't solve it for me quite yet. I feel like I've got it, but then I don't. Every time I feel like I got it, I don't got it. Oh no, but how do I reach it? How do I reach it? No! That's gonna slam it. No! How do I reach it? Ooh! Okay, I get it. Now I gotta reach it. I'm gonna be so close. I'm so close. Why? Like, I've got it. I've clearly got it. Now I just gotta get it. I have it backwards? Did I stumble into the wrong answer? Well, you guys were so confident. I need your confidence back. Oh no. That's not good. Oh, rascal flats. Ugh, I keep messing up. That's the issue. What if I could stack two of them? Let's try stacking two. I don't know, dude. No! 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 I went to the wrong side anyway. Aw, man. But it's too high. It's not going to do anything. Ah, how can I be so close? Are you joking? I've jumped through that thing a million times. I've jumped through that thing a million times. It's been transparent. That is the silliest silly I've ever sillied. That makes me mad. That makes me mad. Let's see. Okay. I'm a pastor in the same Methodist conference as Nate is. We were trained at different seminaries but serve under the same bishop. Correct. Oh, that was so frustrating. There are bishops in Methodism, and a conference is a geographical area like Patriarchate. Yes, Episcopal polity. Our bishops serve. What's up? Oh, we swimming. Oh, we swimming. Okay. Roughly the size of a state, North Carolina is split into two because of how large it is. Under them, we have district superintendents who serve a smaller area, often covering multiple countries. Very interesting. I like learning about Methodism. Methodism is very interesting. It's fun to learn about. We don't often dive too deep into Methodism, but that's not for lack of trying. I'm certainly interested in talking about it. And there's plenty of literature out there if you want to know. Oh, I swim fast. Oh, I fast. Are the 5 solas adhered to? I don't think so. Tell me more about that. Where'd it go? I just saw it. I'm lost. I'm very lost. I'm just going to keep going down. No, I'm not. No, I'm not, because game says nah. Game says no thank you. Oh no. Depression. One of my favorite examples of being a friend to someone who is suffering from depression is for years we were taught that we need to help people get out of the pit, that we need to help people draw themselves up out of the water. But the better example is to get down into the water with someone. I don't know if this game's going to go for that aesthetic, but it's just helpful to know. I so want to give you the theme of the game now. I'll get it. Let's see. We're a Protestant adjacent denomination. There's a lot of respect for the primacy of Holy Scripture and justification by faith. 5 solas are more of a Reformed tradition kind of focus. I bet we could find a lot of parallels in relationship. Even if we don't outright theologically align with all of them, I bet there are plenty that we do align with. I'm so close. How can I be so close? Yet so far. Let me in. Let me in. No comprende. Oh, I'm stuck. Oh boy. Okay, there I am. Wait a second. I'm in a reflection. I'm in a reflection. I'm in a reflection. So fascinating. I see. I would describe it as the backbone of Protestantism, sola scriptura, sola fide. Faith alone, no works needed for salvation. We don't outright reject them. Scripture, faith, grace, Christ, and to all God's glory. Pretty solid stuff. We may look at things slightly differently in a sense of how we work out those things in our lived faith, but that's a big discussion that might go beyond this chat today. Yeah, I would say, you know, there is a reason that, like, we have seminary and theological training, because so much of this stuff is so heavy and so filled with training and education and scriptural discussion. It's a complex thing for a reason. But what's nice about Methodism is that in general we tend to we have a thing called the Wesleyan Quadrilateral that we understand Scripture and our various theological leanings from, with Scripture being the primary, and then experience, reason, and tradition being the other three. A lot of people get it confused because it's called the quadrilateral, even though some people will call it different things, like a stool. Well, they'll say the Scripture is the base of the stool, and then they're the three legs that it's supported by, of tradition, experience, reason. But that at least sounds down the similar vein of what we're both talking about. Yeah. A good place to start if you want to study more. Scripture takes primacy, but is interpreted with reason and tradition, with help from our experience of the holy through communion with Christ. Yes, yes, yes. It's all helpful, and it is important to us as a faith tradition that they're all taken in tandem, and that they're considered together. Oh, I see. Man, I love this level design. I just love it. Aww. Eastern Orthodox sees Scripture as being within tradition, so I guess that is not prima scriptura. Ah, come on! Why can't I jump out of water? Okay. Yes. Nice. Nicely done. Nicely done. Whew. But yeah, I would say the biggest reason why we probably don't dwell on it too much in this space typically is because we want to make sure that we're incredibly welcoming to anybody who might be totally new and not interested or prepared for these kind of theological weightiness, you know? That doesn't mean that we won't or we can't. But instead that we just want to be radically inclusive of people coming at faith from all different times and capability. Two more. Eastern Orthodox sees Scripture as being within tradition. That makes sense. From that perspective, Scripture is inextricably linked to the tradition of the church. That's what the Acts of the Apostles is. Never mind the New Testament letters, right? What is a library without curation, right? Front porch visit, yeah. like how these are very red. They make me a little nervous. A little nervy. Do you help me, friendos? Okay, now the redfish are following me, and I don't know why. Should I not bring it up? I don't want to detract from the purpose of the channel. No. You're good. You're good. You are absolutely good to bring that kind of stuff up here. I was purely stating that just because I wanted to be clear of, like, if we're still talking about the game, or if we derail or anything, or if if anything becomes too much and we have to kind of like stop talking about it. That's why, just because I want to make sure that we're respecting people. But you certainly have not said anything that has raised any flags. You're good. I appreciate your questions and your curiosity and your willingness to hear and listen. You're all good. I don't know what to do. The redfish are following me, but I don't know what that means. I don't know what they actually do. This random tree is red. Oh, maybe they'll rocket me up to the top. Yes. Got it. So I have to like rocketeer them out and then do the hold A. Got it. Ooh, that was tough. But I've said it once about this game, I'll say it again. That's just doggone good game design. I mean, that is really just exceptional game design. Ooh, I scared them. Ooh, I scared them away. Do they come back? Yes, in the Discord we have a whole section called Church Talk that is mildly unmoderated by me. I will certainly step in if things ever need me. But for the most part, it's just a place to genuinely ask questions and be curious and engage in this kind of conversation. So that is the purpose of the Discord, to dive a little deeper. I'm distracted. I'm always distracted. My life is distracted. What do I do? What's next? I need a map. Need a map, 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 need a map. Got a lurk. Thanks for the lurk. Oh man, we gotta end stream. Holy moly, what in the world? We got 5 minutes left. Oh no! I don't know when the last autosave was. Oh gee willikers. What are we gonna do? I need red friends. Where do I get red friends? I need them. Triangle friends. Triangle friends, where are you? I've got to find triangle friends. Where would they be? Why is this fish insisting on running away from me, huh? Got him! Oh, the classic walk the other way trick. Oh. Noggin. Dead. Are you gonna go and break the fence? Are you gonna light the way through the darkness? Jesus Turtle! Yay! I'm gonna name you Manuel. And we're getting that autosave. And boing. Nice. This feels like a pretty natural stopping point. Feels like a pretty natural stopping point, I would say. We've got ourselves an autosave. I would have preferred to have ended at a new color, but I don't know if we're 3 minutes away from a new color or not. I'm going to go out on a limb and say probably not. Oh, foot! Hello, sad girl. Hello, sad girl. Oop. Okay. I thought maybe your whole body might be swim throughable, but it is not. Okay. That's fine. Oh, your body is a castle. Your body's a temple. Yes. Very good. Very good. Yeah, this feels like a place to stop. Oh, hold up. Is this a new color? Because it's her hand. I think we might literally be about to get a new color. Oh no. Maybe. How do I get to her hand? Oh man, do I swim up this? No joke! Well, ain't that just a gig in the pants? I think we're gonna get a new color, and we're gonna end it. We're gonna end it with a new color. That's so fun and wonderful. Oh, she opens. She sees me. I'm here. I'm here for you, girl. What's it gonna be? Oh. Oh. I gave her the moon. Yellow. Whoa. Wow. We're talking? Oh, girl, I gotta go! I gotta go, girl! I gotta go! Folks, we're Checkpoint Church for nerds, geeks, and gamers. We are really a church. I'm really a pastor. No! This is such an awful place! I don't like it anymore! I don't like that this is where we ended. No! I'm not happy here! Oh my goodness. I can't. If I didn't have to go, you guys, if I didn't have to go, I would not be going. So we leave 3 things to be true about every single one of you out there, regardless of whether or not you believe in God, don't believe in God, go to church, don't go to church, hate the church, hate Christians, had a terrible experience. No matter what, we believe 3 things to be true about every single one of you watching this at any point in time on the VOD, on the Twitch channel, whenever it may be. We believe that number 1, God loves you, like really, really loves you. Number 2, we love you. We want community with you. That's what we're doing. And number 3, we believe that you, yes, you matter. You are a person of sacred worth. The world is a better place. Why? Because you are in it. Folks, with that, I'm so sorry that I have to wrap up the stream, but I do have to go get my daughters. So that is the way that it works today. We will be streaming again tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock, where we'll be talking about God of War Ragnarok and our latest nerdy sermon on it. So if you want to come discuss our nerdy sermon, hear a little song, get into a contemplative spirit together, that's 9 o'clock Eastern tomorrow morning. Thursday, 9 o'clock Eastern, we are going to be playing through maybe more off. Maybe we'll beat this game. Who knows? We'll see. We'll see how much is left. Oh, thanks for the lurk, my friends. Appreciate you. Thanks, Joby. Welcome in. We're just about to hop off. We're gonna find somebody to raid real quick, but if you haven't taken the time yet, go join the Discord. Learn more about that. It was nice to meet you today, Columbo. And let's see, who should we raid? Who should we raid? Who's live right now? I see Bonsai Baby. Let's go raid Bonsai Baby. If you'll do me a favor, folks, spam Bonsai Baby, a bunch of you matters in the chat, and I will be around. Okay, until the next time that I see you. Again, God loves you. We love you. You matter. And have a wonderful rest of your day. Hope to see you up in the Discord right now. We'll continue hanging out, or see you back here in the morning for a little God of War Ragnarok combo. All right, until the next time, go spam some you matters. Bye-bye.